5. You know, you could put 5/8 in there. It'd be 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3, or the opposite, 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2. You know, so then you have that kind of sound. 1 2 3 1 2. So then you're having, you know, and then you add, like there I added a different meter. Then you can start mixing the meters, and you can add contrast and dissonance, actually, rhythmically, as opposed to note-wise, as opposed to harmonically. Okay. Chord tone playing. Here's another example. You can develop a counter melody by looking at the chord structure of the song and rebuilding a new melody from chord tones found within each chord. Well, you know, let's say, for example, you got the E minor 7. Right? Well, we have got that good old E minor 7. You know, if I add a... That's now adding that 9th, and it gives me an E minor 9 sound. Okay? But I was playing over E minor 7. And then I can go. And now I'm adding an 11 sound over that minor 7 because I landed on A. Okay? You know, I could have landed on C sharp. Gives me a minor 13th sound, you know. So like there is another way of building your melody. You're saying, okay, I'm going to pick one of these notes. I'm picking a chord tone or an extension, something above the chord, and I'm going to try to land on that. I'm going to try to resolve on that and build an idea around it. That's another way of playing, okay. Voice leading. If you do chord tone playing, you can do voice leading. You can develop a linear solo by using voice leading to take you to a particular note in a chord for a given end of your phrase. Okay, so what am I thinking? Okay, well, let's say if I've got, once again, the good old E minor 7. I'm going to start with 9, go to 11, go to 13. And then I'll go to 13. So there was my voice leading. I went from, by doing that, I started hinting other chords. 9, 11, minor 13, and I kept on adding more dissonance as I went going. I could have done it the other way around as well and made it more consonant. So that's another possibility. Chromatic playing and implying direction. This is a big one for jazz guys. You can embellish a solo with chromatic tones and by using them as sandwich notes for your overall playing. Let's say you've got the good old default again, the E minor pentatonic. And you kind of add chromatic tones in between. get a lot of really nice sounds, and it still sounds pentatonic because I'm landing on a pentatonic note. I'm ending my phrase. Once again, resolution. So I'm not going to end on my chromatic note. I'm going to end on the note that's back into this home bass, which is the scale. Okay. Chromatic tones is a great way of starting to play jazz and loosening up your jazz playing and kind of, you know, getting used to playing these notes that you once thought didn't quite belong, but they do, if you know how to use them. And then playing extensions. You can add tension to a solo by playing upper extensions of a chord to build unpredictability to your solo lines. What I meant by that is by playing extensions that are altered, okay? So by adding some weird notes, let's say like if I'm playing E minor 7 by default, and I play E melodic minor, you know, by playing that D sharp, you know, it was an out note, but I was really kind of implying it. I resolved to the third because I wanted to, but I could have stayed on, landed on the D sharp and made it work. But that's kind of what I meant by that. You're playing extensions off of chords that are not inside the original extensions. Okay. Adding tension and dissonance with substitute chords. You can drastically alter your solo and build dissonance by substituting chords that do not exist, which is kind of what we did with Little Sunflower when I told you you could use G7 instead of D minor 7, or you could use A7. So over the E minor 7, you could pretend that's a 2 chord, and you could play A7 over it in terms of sounds, like weird scales, let's say like B flat melodic minor. Or you could pretend it's a 1 chord and you have a 5 chord, and then you could play C melodic minor over it. Okay, so there I did C melodic minor, but then I landed it once again on the 9th and kind of hinted B minor pentatonic, just to kind of show you what I'm thinking. And that's adding the tension and dissonance there because I'm playing some wrong notes. E flat is a wrong note. rock guys, yes, you can play it fast. Okay, so that was B minor 7. That was one of the arpeggios I used. And I used another one that I stole from rock guys, which was a B minor arpeggio. Here's the B minor shape. Okay, if you guys know the cage system, that's the C shape of B minor. The C box. Here's the C shape as B.